Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishna Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Tishtati Sarvametadakilam He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. With Sri Chinna Swamiji's blessings, we are continuing Bhagavad Gita Chapter 3. We finished Sloka 26 in our last session. We'll continue with Sloka 27. So I'll share my screen. Before that, I'll make it a slideshow. Sloka 27, right? So we can see Sloka 27.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can see it.
Please chant. Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. Let's chant with that.
Prakrute kriyamanani gunai sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate.
Lord Krishna is continuing. So, kriyamanani karmani sarvasaha. All kinds of actions are being done by who? All kinds of actions are being done prakrutehe gunaihi, by the gunas of the prakriti. This is one of the most fundamental principles, misconceptions that we have, that we are doing the work. Where we are considering we are body and we are doing the work. Yes, it is the body is doing the work, but it is not we. Body is not I, right? So we have to recognize that all kinds of actions are being done by the gunas of the prakriti. Okay, so as we go along in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains more and more about this. But this is one of the most fundamental principles. When the root cause of actions is our gunas, the gunas that we are derived from Prakriti. Okay, so ahankara vimudhatma. Ahankara vimudhatma is one who is ignorant, who considers body as I. Okay, vimudhatma is ignorant. Ahankara. So ahankara is typically translated as having ego, right? That egoistic person. But ahankara is one who is thinking that I am body. That is the most fundamental principle again. Ahankara means who considers body as I. Okay. So one who is considering body as I has ahankara. Okay. Ego is something different. in our typical day-to-day usage. Oh, he has a lot of ego. He's doing like this, he, whatever somebody makes a comment, he immediately jumps up and he has a lot of ego, or he's showing ego. These kind of the words we hear, but that is not ahankara. Ahankara is one who considers I am body. Okay, body is me. So what does that person do? Ahankara vimodhatma. Aham karta iti manyate. Karta aham iti manyate. So thinks I am the agent of the work. I am the doer. So one who is considering the body as I, he's thinking that I am the doer. He is an ignorant person. Okay. So one opposite of knowledgeable person is ignorant, right? So one who has knowledge will think that I am Atma, not body. Okay. So with that knowledge, if I have the knowledge, I'll be thinking that I am not the doer. Who is the doer then? The doer is the gunas of the Prakriti. Guna means quality, if I have not explained. So the qualities that are derived from Prakriti, what are the three qualities of Prakriti or nature?
Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So we acquire the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas qualities from this nature, or we are affected by the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas of this nature. And our body is made up of the same nature, the 5 elements of the nature, and we possess those 3 qualities. Out of those 3 qualities, we perform any action. Okay, the Atma by itself is not the agent of the work. So this is my work. Atma should never think that way. There is no work in this world for Atma. My work, this is my work, this is your work, whenever we consider, right? So there's no such thing for us. That work is a necessity, or maybe we are doing it out of our own wish, even though it is not necessary. Every action that we are doing is because of the qualities that are derived from the nature, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Those qualities belong to the nature, not belong to us. We do not have those qualities. We means the Atma does not have those qualities at all. The Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are derived from nature. Atma quality is pure Sattva, that is not corrupted by the Rajas and Tamas. So that will come later. But the 3 qualities that we are talking about are the qualities of the nature. Based on those qualities, we act. We'll be forced to act in some cases because because of our body comes into contact with the nature and reacts to those or gets affected by those qualities. Right.
So can we say the Prakriti is influencing the body to do the karma?
Yes. Our body is doing the work, right? It is. Then who is forcing the body to do the work?
The Prakriti.
Prakriti, not the Atma. So we got this body to experience our whatever karmas that are assigned to us in this particular life. Okay. So that body is made up of nature, these the 5 elements of nature, and it possesses the qualities sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sometimes sattva is dominant, sometimes rajas is dominant, sometimes tamas is dominant. When sattva is dominant, we do the activities that are sattvic in nature, and we will discuss in more detail when when Lord Krishna explains those, right? But primarily sattva is anything that we do to gain knowledge or interested in knowledge, right? Anything else anyone can add? Sattvic qualities. I mean, what is the activity that we do out of sattva guna?
For the welfare of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world.
Peaceful and always trying to be honest. True to the work.
So I mean, like the activities that we do. So, for example, the act of learning Bhagavad Gita is we are doing out of sattva quality, right? Our sattva is dominant, so we are performing this action of learning Bhagavad Gita, right? Gaining knowledge, is one thing, or surrendering to Paramatma. We'll go into the details later. So sattva is dominant in those activities. Then rajas, when rajas is dominant, what kind of actions we do?
Lot of energy, over energy kind of a thing.
Okay. Okay. Basically, most of the activities that we do are doing out of rajas. Rajasic. Rajasic, I mean, it is anger, greed. Some of these things drive the Rajasic qualities. I mean, of course, we'll go into more details. So then Tamasic.
Laziness.
Laziness, sleepiness,
Yes,
Tamasic qualities. So out of laziness, out of sleepiness, I mean, for example, we simply want to avoid activity. We do not want to do the activity that we are supposed to do.
everything is, yeah.
Right? We are not doing the activity. That is the tamasic activity. Right?
What category does this fall? Like hurting others or doing something?
Rajasic.
Just rajasic. Okay.
Yeah. Again, if we are doing it out of ignorance is tamasic. Okay. If you are doing it out of anger and hatred and out of desires, right? That is rajasic. Most of our activities, we have a desire that I want to do. I want to gain this. I want something for myself or for my family. So we do it out of our desires. To fulfill our desires, if we are doing the activity, then it is rajasic in nature. And we have some knowledge. We are not like ignorant when we are doing the rajasic activity. But tamasic is like totally ignorant. That person is doing out of ignorance, don't know what is right, what is wrong, and they don't have a desire supported by the knowledge, so they're ignorant. So
is Krishna also saying that it's okay to be rajasic to some extent? Because I start my day being very sattvic, very nice, calm down, life, peaceful and everything. And the moment that peak starts, right, that office thing, meetings, that, I just become rajasic, right? I try not to, or to a greater extent, but it's just tendency is natural, right? So is Krishna saying, even in those period, that timeline where you work, right? Where you work, meaning work for living, make a living, you have to be sattvic, or else you'll gain karma.
So there are two ways of thinking about it, right? So one is, I mean, any activity is associated with a rajasic, when one way of thinking. So in that case, yes, we need to be rajasic. So sattva, rajas, and tamas is like, sattvic is the time period between morning 4:30 to 6:30 or 7 o'clock, where you do the planning. Okay, where you think what you need to do, right? You're not actually doing any action at the time, but you're planning, preparing how to do, what to do. So that is the sattvic activity. Rajasic is based on that planning, you execute actions is throughout the day. Okay. As we come closer to the end of the day, we are feeling, tired, sleepy, So at the end of the day, when we are taking rest, that is tamasic. That is one way of looking at it, right? So sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Now, the other way of looking at it is like any activity, if you are doing it out of desires, anger, hatred, those kind of qualities, that is rajasic, right? Rajasic action. Okay. Those actions are coming out of your rajas quality. Okay. So we should not be doing those things. That's what we learned in second chapter. We'll learn more later. Any action that is coming out of ignorance is tamasic in nature. The not knowing what to do, what not to do, that is tamasic. So if you if you are doing any activity out of that, ignorance, laziness, sleepiness, then it is tamasic activity. Okay, and sattvic is when you are doing it out of knowledge of the self, right? With the knowledge of self, if you do it, then it is sattvic. So there are two schools of thought. So basically, throughout the day, if you are doing any activity with self in mind, focused on self, right? Then that is what is Lord Krishna is going, is telling us to do, right? Karma, karma yoga is that only. We'll come to that, nirasi, nirmama, and all that. So we have to do any activity as yajna, right? So then it becomes karma yoga. Any activity that is, whatever activity we do throughout the day, without thinking this activity is mine, I am doing the activity, this is for me. These three things, if you, you avoid them, then, so I'm the doer, should not do that. This is my activity, should not do that. This is an activity that is my duty given to me by Paramatma, or this is Paramatma's duty, Paramatma's activity. I am doing it. He is using me as an instrument in doing it. This is not mine. Like a pen is writing the poem. The poem is not pen's. Poem belongs to the writer, right? So pen is what is an instrument there. Pen is actually writing, but the pen is not the owner of the poem, or pen is actually not really writing it, right, by itself. So the poem is not for the pen. Poem is whose activity it is, that is activity of whoever is writing it. Their activity, pen is just an instrument in the middle. And pen is doing the duty of writing, and you see the result. The result belongs to Paramatma. So pen we should be thinking, okay, this we will get some result. Whatever is the result, that belongs to Paramatma. If we do any activity like that, then we are sattvic. Because we are doing it out of knowledge, focused on the self, controlling our indriyas and manas. We're doing the activity, then we are sattvic. The activity, whatever is activity, we will do perfectly. That's what last sloka in the last session we went through, right? So one who has knowledge is also doing knowledge of the self, focused on the self, is also doing the same activity with the same interest, like a person who does not have the knowledge of the self. However, the difference is that the one who has knowledge of the self is doing without attachment. Knowledge of the self is doing without attachment. One who is ignorant, who does not know the self, who thinks I am body, is doing with attachment. Attachment to the work, attachment to the results. Right?
Yeah, to that extent, Professor, both all the three are required for us to live. For example,
Exactly.
if you don't have tamas at all, you cannot go to sleep.
Yes.
Tamas is like the brakes, right? You have the vehicle, but so yeah, yeah.
So
The
we
Rupa's
cannot
point,
avoid those things. I mean, we have to take rest. We
yes,
have to do the activity.
yeah,
We have to do planning and preparation. So all three are required. We
required.
need to gain knowledge. We need to plan. We need to prepare what to do and all that. And we actually have to do the work, right? So in that school of thought, all three are needed, right? So sattva, rajas, and tamas are needed for us, but they need to. We need to, you know, we should not become slaves to it and just, right? I mean, without knowledge, do those activities. So, for example, we are supposed to sleep, say whatever amount of time in the night. So if you do it at that time, it is fine. But if you do it at other times, it is incorrect. Right? Same way, we have the actions. We do at a particular time in a particular way, it is fine, but not at the other times. So yes, all three are needed. All three are supported by the qualities of the nature. But we should have sattvic dominance in all our activity. Sattva should be dominant compared to rajas and tamas in all our activities. I mean, we should be supported by sattva in doing our activities, whether we are actually taking any action or whether we are taking rest.
So the essence is to stay sattvic and realize that all the activities are happening because one of these gunas of the Prakriti.
Yes. So any action that is happening is because of gunas of the Prakriti only. Okay. It is not Atma's activities.
And that realization will also help you to avoid the ahamkara.
Yeah. I mean, go hand in hand. So if I know that I am Atma, I'm not body. So I don't have ahankara. Then who is doing the activities? Body, since we know body is doing the activities. So body is made up of the gunas of the Prakriti. So again, it is not that Atma has to do anything on its own. It is the opposite. The gunas of the body that are driving us to take any action.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a simplistic way to, keep ahamkara away throughout the day. So I'm thinking like if we keep remembering this, will that eventually help to stay away from ahamkara?
Yeah, body, separate body. Anything that we are doing, we are influenced by external things. Immediately you can recognize, oh, this is the body that is getting influenced. So again, it will come later in later chapters that Our body consists of our indriyas. Now, indriyas are, they are swimming in this nature, right? We went through that. So they get attracted to, all these external things. So when such a thing occurs, don't think that you are attracted to it. It is your indriya that is experiencing that. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question.
So our desires will go away with that. Actually, if let us say our tongue is the one that is asking, okay, give me this kind of a taste, we will be attributing it to the body, not to ourselves. So we don't have that desire. I do not have the desire to eat, but it is out of the nature of the tongue, that it, with whatever quality that it is, sattva, rajas, or tamas, it is desiring that kind of a food. Okay, so I am, I'm not attached to it.
I remember when I was a kid, my grandmother used to say whenever there was a fight with my friends and all, so come back from school, "Poni urkuleru babu, vaadu prakriti anta అనేసి.
It is nature.
నీకెందుకురా వాడు ప్రకృతి అంత నువ్వు బాగుండు.
Yeah.
So my grandmother used to say, so I used to understand where this word came from her. Where is this word?
Yeah.
No.
If you don't want to know, the definition of Prakriti in Bhagavad Gita is Prakriti means the whole universe. That's what Prakriti is, like in Bhagavad Gita. And Prakriti nature, right? That's what we think. Nature and.
Okay, the word Prakriti is anything that is not self, not Atmas. Okay, Prakriti, nature is anything other than Atma or Paramatma. Anything that is material, you can think it that way. Anything, so and material, that's what they call it as material nature, or just material, or nature. So any body that you see around, minus Atmas from them, is Prakriti.
Minus Atma minus Paramatma is Prakriti.
Yeah, Atma and Paramatma. So this entire Prakriti is pervaded by Paramatma. Okay. So, and each body has, several Atmas. So take out those two. I mean, you cannot really take them out. I'm saying that they are all combined together. They are one, right? But if you, that body, say for example, there's a dead body. That dead body does not have the primary Atma that drives the dead body to function. Okay, so the dead body is inanimate. Now, question is, does the dead body also have Paramatma in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, right? Because there is nothing in this world which is not pervaded by Paramatma. So it's not like somebody dies means the Paramatma will go away. I mean, entire material nature is pervaded by Paramatma. It is functioning because of the primary Atmas. The primary Atma presence in that particular body. Because of that, it is functioning. But the primary Atma is also dependent on Paramatma. Paramatma is driving the, this Atma, and or giving energy to the Atma, you can say it that way. And that Atma is giving energy or making the body function. When the Atma leaves the body, then the body stops functioning as we see it. There are parts of the body which may still function. But when the primary Atma is not there, the body stops to function as it was before. So the body does not talk, does not eat, does not walk, but parts of the body may still function. so when so hope I answered your question. So if anything that is that we see, that material that we see is Prakriti. Our body also is Prakriti. Our body is also inanimate. Okay, or asat, I call it asat, inanimate, or material. So if we are not in this body, then the body stops functioning. It does not have the knowledge on its own. It does not function on its own. Only when an Atma is present in it, that Atma gives the knowledge for it to function. So anything that do not have knowledge is Prakriti. Atma is the only one which has the knowledge. I mean, Paramatma, of course. So Paramatma is the one that is giving the energy to this entire world, including Atma and the nature.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I have another question, sir. I think it goes back to Rupaji's question, right? I think I was thinking, I mean, being Satvik is good, but if Arjuna being Satvik, can he fight the war, right? I think you have to be Rajasik to do the war. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not thinking, right? But
So,
yeah.
So basically, we need to do our duty with focus on Atma. Okay, not out of desire.
Okay.
Okay, so not out of desire, not expecting certain result. Will come later. I mean, few slokas are there. So out of desire, hatred, anger, if you do it, then it becomes Rajasic, right? I'm doing it as my duty as service to God becomes Sattvic.
Okay, sure. Even though there could be a little bit of a rising voice, right? I mean,
Yeah.
meetings and all those things, right? That's daily kind of a life for us, pretty much, right? So it's okay, right? As long as I'm trying to do justice to my organization, I'm trying to do right thing for my organization, my boss, manager, right? I think whatever, right? As long as, yes, not for the self, but I think that's okay. That's, I think, justified, right? I mean, yeah. So sometimes, yeah, I mean, it's not doing for your growth or your this thing, but you're trying to do the right thing, right? For your core, for another, right? And looking at the best interest.
That's a slippery slope.
Right?
But isn't that slippery slope like saying, I'm doing it for the organization? Like I'm feeling the same thing as Badri Garu, right? So we mostly think like, I mean, but I'm doing it because I think I want to be seen doing good, or, you know.
Yeah, we should not be thinking I'm doing it for the organization.
But it's very difficult. It's very, I'm thinking just like Badri Garu was thinking, right?
So when
Very
I say
difficult.
we shouldn't be thinking for the organization, well, we have to increase our scope, right? We should not limit our scope to our family, our society, our organization. Like we have to, you know, say that this is whatever activity I'm doing is as service to Paramatma.
No, I agree, sir.
Okay? And organization is part of the whole, right? His body. So, you know, then it will be naturally like, you know, like, yeah, you're doing for the organization, but not limiting the organization, separating from organization from Paramatma. You're not doing that. You're, you know, doing it as service to Paramatma, and organization is part of it.
The service, exactly. Yeah, that's part of that. That's what inherently, yeah.
So you're not forgetting,
yes,
Paramatma when whatever you do. Okay, so whether you do it for yourself or your family or you know, community or organization, country, yeah, you're doing it for them, but they are part of the Paramatma. That is how we need to see.
Thank you, sir.
So this is very critical, important, that we should not be thinking I am the doer. That's what is introduced here. Okay, body is the doer. And why it is doing the activities? Because of the gunas of the Prakriti. So all kinds of actions are being done by the gunas of the Prakriti. Our root cause of all actions is our gunas. Our gunas in the sense, not Atma's gunas, the body's gunas, body that we are possessing. Okay, so we have to look at it that way. So we are separating ourselves, the doerships from the action. I mean, ourselves from the doership. I mean, so I'm not the doer, and I'm the the body is the doer, and body also is doing out of the gunas that it acquired from the Prakriti.
So is it right to think that Lord Krishna is also not Paramatma? Paramatma is something beyond. Lord Krishna was also, he was an avatara, or like he was there, right? He had a
Lord
material
Krishna is
body.
Lord Krishna is an incarnation of Paramatma.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then at all times, is there an incarnation, like one incarnation goes, or does it take long time for?
Yeah,
Is
so
there an
those things will come.
Okay.
We'll keep it in suspense. There is a sloka for it also. Okay. I'll move on to the next sloka, 28. Okay, please chant. Tattva vittu mahabaho. Guna karma vibhagayoho. Guna guneshu vartante. Iti matva na sajjate. Let's chant together. Tattva vittu mahabaho. Okay. Tattvavit tu mahabaho. Tu means but. So, but mahabaho or Arjuna. Tattvavit. Tattvavit is one who knows the truth. Tattva is truth, reality. Okay. Tattvavit is the knower of the reality or knower of the truths. Right? The three realities that we talked about. One who is the knower of the truth. Okay. Guna karma vibhagayoho. About guna karma vibhagayoho. About the gunas and their influences. Okay. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva. So things that gunas are engaged in their objects. Guna guneshu vartante. Their gunas are engaged in guneshu, in their objects. Iti matva, things that way. Na sajjate, does not take ownership, does not get attached. So one who knows this, the truth about this, the gunas and the influences, will think that whenever an action is performed, it is the gunas are engaged in their objects, not I. So does not take the ownership. I do not have those gunas. It is the body that which has the gunas are engaged in the objects of those gunas, taking participating in whatever it is supposed to do, right? So or whatever it is influenced by. Okay, so because of that, the body is acting, and I'm not the doer. Okay, so with that, what happens is I'm disassociating myself from that work, the doership, isn't it? I mean, this is how we need to think. That's what Lord Krishna is saying. One who is the knower of the truth will think that I am not the doer. These gunas are engaged in their own objects. Okay, so
So how do we? One side we're saying that we should do service to the God, right? Other side we're saying that okay, so gunas are doing the work, right? Gunas are are directly the cause of this work. So sorry, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure out how do you relate those two, right? One side we're saying that okay, so we should do everything service to the God. Other side we're saying okay, gunas are doing the work, right? Are responsible, or gunas are responsible for the work what we are doing, right? It could be any of them, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So I'm trying to relate this to, right? I mean, not sure, maybe it's not the right question, but I don't know. But I think me there, okay, because once I'm saying we're doing certain service to the God, right? So my Atma, my body is doing.
Yeah. I mean, you're feeling hungry, for example, let us say.
Yeah.
And the body wants food. And it has to do some action to get the food. And you're doing that particular action. Whose action is it?
Done by Prakriti.
Yeah, that action does not belong to us. That is influenced by the gunas of the Prakriti. Okay, so we are performing any action because again our body is made up of these 5 elements, and whichever element goes down, like for example, our we feel hungry. That means our body needs some earth material, right? It needs food. So then we need to eat food. Okay, so we should be, that eating of food is not for us, right? We are separated from it. That action of running after getting the food, right? Is it for Atma or for the body?
The body.
So anything that we do is not, we will be will not be associated with that kind of an activity. We will be always focused on ourselves. Okay, but the action that we are doing is necessary, because whenever that happens, we think, okay, the gunas of this the qualities of the body are driving it to do it that way. Okay, so I mean somebody may say, okay, then I will do all kinds of bad actions, like harming others and showing all kinds of evilness, let us say. and say that, okay, I'm not associated with it's the body that is doing. Okay, that is incorrect logic, right? So
where does the mind mind falls under? Like, is it also a prakriti? Because most of the time we are engaged in thinking,
yeah,
doing.
prakriti, mind, everything, the entire body is made up of prakriti. The mind is also part of indriyas, one of the indriyas.
So then
So there are 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, and manas.
okay, so then
So total 11 indriyas.
the kind of thoughts are there, those can be categorized as rajas, tamas, and sattvic, right?
Yeah, everything. So even yeah, those whatever we are thinking, the manas is doing some action that is also out of the sattva, rajas, and tamas only. So the we are getting influenced by the external. Say, for example, we see something really beautiful and attracted to it, right? We should think that the qualities that I have, the body has, that is getting engaged in its object. So, so basically, our indriya. So, for example, we see a beautiful thing. So, I is our body, part of our body, and it is getting attracted to that kind of a thing because of the nature, because of the quality that it has. So if it is say sattva quality, it is trying to engage in sattva activity or getting attracted to sattvic. If it is rajasic, it is getting attracted to rajasic. So for example, same as tongue, if it is if it wants a certain kind of food, right, to experience, it is not that I have a desire to experience that food. It is the tongue which is having the say for example, in this case, rajasic dominance. It is trying to require or getting engaged in that kind of a activity of desiring that kind of a food and wanting to eat that kind of a food. That, I mean, basically the tongue is sending signals to manas saying that I want this, I want this. So mind is basically under the control of the indriya, the tongue, and now mind wants that kind of a thing. So it develops a desire to engage in activity to prepare that kind of a food or eat that kind of a food, right? So all this is totally separate from us. We are we are not the doer. It is the body which is having a particular quality. Parts of the body, all the indriyas are having certain qualities, and those qualities, whatever qualities it is dominant, we have as dominant, it is getting engaged in those the activities of those objects that match. So, for example, somebody who is tamasic, the body is having tamasic dominance, may engage in activities of tamasic objects like drinking and all that kind of a thing, right? So, or someone who is rajasic, having rajasic dominance, the guna is rajasic, will be engaged in trying to do activities in order to satisfy the body, satisfy the ego, in the sense that ego for the body, not for the self, right? So I need praise, I need money, I need possession, I need everybody to recognize me, all that. So if out of that, it is doing the activity. So when such an activity that body is doing, we should recognize that it is the qualities of the body that is engaged in that. So it is not me. So when such a thing occurs, immediately, anything that is rajasic or tamasic will subside. It's not here basically, but typically what happens is this: all these qualities that we possess, the sattva, rajas, and tamas, we think they are my quality, right? So say for example, I want to have 5 cars, let us say, I want 5 cars, a lot of money, that is for me, right? So that is a kind of desire that I have. Out of the desire, I'm doing the activities then to satisfy those desires. Okay, so that is basically acquiring me karmic bondage. I'm not thinking about myself there. The self means atma there. We are thinking about our body, and the body. We are thinking that I have a desire. I have a desire to acquire this. I am doing the activity to acquire it. Okay, this is my activity. And this is the result that I'm going to get, like 5 cars, is for me. Correct? So there, the gunas are associated with self, that is Atma. We don't even think of the gunas. The one who does not have this kind of a knowledge, they will associate, oh, I have a desire, and without thinking whether it is sattva, rajas, or tamas gunas. That is all the knowledge that we gain with Bhagavad Gita. But without thinking those gunas, which are fundamental in nature for us, what we think is, oh, I have a desire to acquire this.
Right.
I have a desire to, say, go to all the parties and enjoy, drink, and then, just, enjoy being lazy and all that. I don't have to do anything. I have so much money. So I, in all these places, right, we're thinking about I. And associating those activities is our need, and out of that need, I am doing those activities for myself. So Lord Krishna is saying, it is not you. Your body, yes, you will be doing the activities, but you should think that the body is having those gunas acquired from nature, and that those gunas are engaged in whatever activities it is supposed to. It is getting attracted to in the Prakriti. So one who is sattvic gets attracted to sattvic activities, right? Wants to do sattvic activities. So again, those activities are not for self. One who is rajasic, having rajasic guna dominant, they want to engage in a rajasic action, right? Then again, we should not be thinking that those actions are my actions,
Right.
for me.
So I think you answered my next question. Like realizing that it's not me who's doing it would actually help in subsiding those gunas also. The rajasic and tamasic.
Yes. Yeah, with that, what happens? I mean, once we think that this is not me, typically, right, it will come down. Once we associate with this is mine, then things will get attached to it. But if you know that this is not mine, then that attachment that will go away. We'll start looking things in a different way.
Got it.
Right? I mean, we are, for example, a car, we own a particular car, we see it in a different way compared to when we rent, right? Now, that attachment will not be much, the one that we rent, compared to what we think as our own. Same with a house or
Right.
families even, or maybe country. If we think this is mine, we will be attached to it more compared to when we think that this is not mine. So if sattva, rajas and tamas are not ours, then we will not be impacted by them. We will not be attached to those qualities. Okay, when we don't attach ourselves to the qualities of the Prakriti, then we are focused on ourselves, which is the pure sattva that Lord Krishna talks about. Even if we are influenced, think that it's natural. Like if you feel hungry, don't think that my Atma is becoming, I am becoming hungry. Their Atma never becomes hungry. So if you feel like eating something, immediately know that, okay, this is what it is supposed to do. I'm possessing this body and body needs food. I have to do the activity. No problem. Let me do the activity. So there is no attachment there. This is my activity and I have to eat for myself. Will not be there. We'll just feed for the sake of the body, right? Of course, whenever we do any activity, we do it as service to Paramatma. That is there. So in order to, to nurture the body, take care of the body, we eat and we offer it as service to God.
Got it. Thank you.
So, Professor, one last question.
Sure.
So, by doing what, by not doing what you are saying, right? Not you, whatever the scriptures.
Yeah, Bhagavad Gita. Yes.
Finally, end of the day, is Atma getting punished or a body? Or whatever the birth cycle, right?
Yeah. Atma is the one that gets all the
Punishment, kind of.
Yeah, punishment in the sense of in the
In
form
the-
of karmic bondage.
Yeah.
Yes, Atma is the one that is acquiring sin, not the body. Body will remain here. It will change form. As we speak, the body is changing form. Right? A lot of cells will be born. A lot of cells will be going back into the nature. Right? So our body is changing every second. Right. So body is not getting any punishment. Nobody is getting any punishment. So we are, the body by itself does not have any knowledge. It does not feel anything. It's like, imagine a dead body. You do anything to it, doesn't matter, right? So it is, we are experiencing whatever are the experiences that we are getting through the body. And that is the karmic bondage that we need to experience. Right? So the one who is experiencing is Atma only, not the body. Through the body, we are experiencing. Imagine the body by itself, just an inert object, does not experience anything unless Atma is there. So Atma is the one that is experiencing by being present in that body. And those experiences are positive and negative experiences based on our karmic bondage. Okay, we'll move on to next sloka, 29, right? Okay, let's chant 29. Please chant. Prakrute guna sammudhaha sajjante guna karmasu
गुणकर्मसु
tana krutsna vido mandan krutsna vinna vichalayet
Krishna Vinayet
Prakrute
Guna Samudhamaha
Sajjante
Sajjamasu Tana Krishna Vido Matman Krishna Vinayet.
Okay. So Lord Krishna is saying, Prakrutehe guna sammudhaha. Guna sammudhaha. Those who are deluded by the gunas. Prakrutehe. By the gunas of the nature. Prakrutehe guna sammudhaha. Those who are deluded by the gunas of the nature. Those who have the delusion. We'll see what it is. So, sajjante gunakarmasu is they get attached to the actions of the gunas. Okay. The previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, na sajjate is one who, one who is tattvavit, one who knows the truth of the guna karma, vibhaga, about the gunas and their influences. Now the gunas are driving the karma. Okay, the karma is happening, but the gunas are the ones that are driving the karma. So, one who is the knower of that truth, na sajjate, does not take ownership, does not get attached. But prakrute guna sammudaha, those who are deluded by the gunas of the nature, guna karmasu sajjante, get attached to the actions of the gunas. Okay. And Lord Krishna is saying, Krishna vin na vichalayet tan akrishna vidaha mandan. Okay, Krishna vin na vichalayet, one who knows the truth, na vichalayet, should not disturb. Krishna vit is the one who is a knower of the truth. Na vichalayet, should not disturb. Who? Tan akrishna vidaha mandan. Tan, those, akrishna vidaha is who do not have complete knowledge. Okay, who does not have the whole knowledge. Mandan is one who is dull, right? Slow-witted. One who does not have knowledge, you can, go side by side, right? One who is an ignorant person, you can say it that way. So basically, one who is the knower, the Krishna Ved, should not disturb akrishna Ved. Okay. Who are the akrishna Ved or akrishna Vidaha Mandan people? They are deluded by the gunas of the nature. They get attached to the actions of the gunas. Okay. So there are people who are, who are not the knowers of the truth, who does not have complete knowledge. They get attached to the actions, okay, thinking that these actions are my actions. Okay, they are deluded. There's a they think that these gunas are my gunas. That is a delusion. I am feeling this way. I have this desire. I am angry. I am disturbed. I am having hatred. All these qualities that we are thinking, associating with ourselves, right? I am frustrated. I am, you can think of anything. I am elated by whatever is a beauty. I am. So all this, if we are thinking that these are my qualities, these are my own, right? That is the delusion that we are having. That those are the qualities of the body or qualities of the nature. Our body is influenced by those qualities, or we acquired those qualities from the nature. You can say, and I'm saying many times because it's very important. So if we have a delusion that this is my quality, then we get attached to the action that is driven by the guna, that quality. So, right? So Lord Krishna is saying there are people like that who are kind of dumb people, but he didn't say that way.
Ignorant.
Probably ignorant. Yeah, ignorant who do not have complete knowledge. They will be thinking that way. So you should not disturb them. You know, you should those who are the knowers of the truth. You should let them do. I mean, it is difficult to make the people come out of the delusion. Okay, so by what happens is that you should not disturb means it's not like you should let them do it. It's not like that. It is like by yourself, you do not have the need to do a particular activity, let us say. But if you don't do it, then it will disturb them. They will not be able to understand. You got it?
Be a role model and then just
That is one thing. So yeah, so you should perform the activities so that they do not get disturbed, because we need to recognize that not everybody is at the same level. There are people who are under delusion, right? So they think that the gunas belong to them and their actions belong to them. They think that the results of the actions belong to them. They have they are performing the action just to get the results of those actions. Okay, to seek the results of the actions, or doing with the expectations of the result, with the expectation of the result. So we have people like that, and so whatever activities that we are doing with the knowledge, we shouldn't be disturbing them, in the sense that we should not make them not do the activities at all, right? They have to do the activities. Okay, so they shouldn't be disturbed in such a way that they will not perform their actions at
Does
all.
it mean, like, how do we know who's is ignorant or not? Does it mean we should not even try to tell somebody? Is it that you should try to like convince them, or don't even mention to them? I mean, it's a very black and white thing, because I'm thinking nobody has. I don't have knowledge, so but you're telling me, right? So I'm on that path, so you should assume everybody's on a path. But here it sounds like don't tell them at all, or don't.
No, it's not about don't tell them. That's what I'm saying. So it is like don't stop doing your duty.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, which will disturb them. Okay, so I mean, here you can imagine that Arjuna wants to just run away, right? So let's say, I have no desire. This is just for my body. And then, I don't need this kingdom. Let me go. So if he just does it that way, right, it will disturb other people. Okay, so don't do in such a way that it will put the people on the wrong path. Okay, so
So
because other people may not have the knowledge you have, they will look at in a different way, right? So they are deluded by the gunas. So one who knows the gunas, they also perform, right, activities, knowing
Yeah.
that the gunas are the ones that are acting. Okay, but they would not stop saying that, okay, I do not have to do this activity at all. Okay, they will do the activities, but with the understanding that it is the guna that is driving my karma, right? So with that understanding, they will do the activity. The other people will think that it is, it's actually the same. They will associate the guna to themselves only and do the activity. So they have the delusion that I have this guna, I have the desire, I have the anger, I have the hatred, I have laziness. All these gunas that we are going to learn, they will associate with themselves because they have no concept of I, which is Atma. So they will associate themselves with the body. With ahankara, they will think that these are all the gunas or the qualities of my qualities, and these actions are also mine. So with that, they obviously they get attached to them. Okay, so we do the activity, same thing, but we do not attach to them, right? So that's the difference.
Krishna, Lord Krishna pointed out here about Kritsnavit and Akritsnavit, right? Those who have knowledge and those who don't have knowledge. This is the new word which I have learned in this sloka, Kritsnavit and Akritsnavit. And he also said Vichalayet. So when you say Vichalayet, is it that we should not be considering people who are deluded when they think otherwise? And what will be our reaction, or what will be the person who is not attached to these delusions? What will be their reactions? How will they behave? How should they behave? The word used is vichalayet, right?
Right. Vichalayet is disturbed. Or not. They are performing the activities in a particular way, right?
Mhm.
So we should not do anything that will make them completely run away from doing the activity completely.
But whatever like Krishna is saying, right? If I look at like Krishna as Krishna and Arjuna as a Krishna, ignorant guy, right? He's doing the same thing, but because I can justify that as like, even though Arjuna has Kshatriya Dharma, so Krishna is just reminding him. So I cannot say, hey, this sloka is saying, see, Krishna is a truth knower, right? No, he's also telling ignorant Arjuna, but because it's not his.
Now, did Krishna leave Kurukshetra and go away?
No. Even
right?
Yuddham, right? He didn't say, I will do, and you, like, he won't let him go, thinking, applying this.
Yeah. So Krishna is doing his action. See, one thing is, it's not just the Kurukshetra, right? Lord Krishna was performing all his duties as son, as a leader in his community. Whatever actions he's supposed to do, he was doing it. Those are all his dharmas, right? He was practicing his dharma, even though he does not have any need to do them, right? So he did not say, oh, okay, I don't have to do them. It will, other people would not have understood why he is doing that. They would think that, oh, I can also not do those activities, right? And then they will not perform their karmas. So we should let them perform their karmas by, we should not do anything that will disturb them from doing their karmas. But the other way, right? Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna to, like, I am doing the activity, so you also should do the activity. He's not running away from doing the activity, which would actually make Arjuna also to run away from his activities. Okay. I mean, here we need to recognize that there are people who do not have complete knowledge. They associate the actions to themselves, the gunas to themselves. They will think that these are my actions. Very simple. So we should put ourselves in that shoe, saying that, am I thinking that way? Am I deluded by the gunas of the nature? I mean, I'm thinking that these are my gunas, these are my actions. Okay. So then obviously I'm ignorant. I do not have complete knowledge.
There are delusional people, who ask you questions because maybe you're, trying to get set in the right path. But then even they ask questions, you try to answer them, they still want to be delusional, or maybe they turn the conversation into a debate. How do you deal with that, with the limited knowledge that we have at this state where we are not there yet, we are still learning?
Yeah, very good point. So basically, when someone is having so much karmic bondage, they will not be open to your argument, your knowledge. If you are trying to give knowledge and they are having so much karmic bondage, it's like an obstacle for them to get the knowledge. So yes, we should try. We should give that knowledge. Try to give the knowledge, but not many people will take it. The reason is karmic bondage. Very simple. They have to go through another, I don't know how many births, before they can understand that knowledge. Try to practice it. Okay, got it? So it is not that, I mean, it's not that, we should expect result. Just by giving Bhagavad Gita knowledge to somebody, they will be able to understand and practice. They will take their own time. Okay, it's up to them and Paramatma. So we do our duty of passing on the knowledge. Again, as long as they are not having envy, so those things will come. We shouldn't be telling someone who has hatred of Lord Krishna. Then there's no point in even giving this knowledge. We'll be hurting ourselves.
Right.
So one who may show inclination, we can give this knowledge, but it doesn't mean that they will 100% get it and practice. It is a karmic bondage that will disturb them. That will act as an obstacle for them to understand this in the way it should be understood, practice them in the way it should be practiced. But whoever shows interest, we definitely have to give the knowledge.
Thank you.
Um, it's 9:28. So I think we'll conclude here 29, right? So any questions? If we start the next sloka, maybe it will take another 10 to 15 minutes. So is it okay to stop here?
Yeah, we can stop.
Okay.
Any questions before you? Any other questions? One question that I'll ask is, what is that we need to learn from Bhagavad Gita? What is that most important thing that we need to learn from Bhagavad Gita?
The life manual, how to live.
Okay.
Karma yoga.
It's prajna.
Purpose of life, stay happy, how to stay happy.
How to be yourself.
Mm. If it is like one word, what would it be? What we need to learn and practice?
It's sthita pragya. It's sthita prajna. The word, I think.
You are Atma.
Atma Bodha.
Path to moksha.
Okay.
You can
Yeah.
take any answer. We are sorry, sir. We are not getting
Yeah, it's the manual is right
Yes.
point,
Yeah,
but
it is
following the
manual.
manual is very tough.
All are there.
Yeah.
But what is the most ultimate thing that we need to learn and practice?
Moksha, right? We need
Atma
moksha
Jnanam. Yeah.
No, that is moksha is our goal.
to get, but
Atma Jnanam, sir.
Atma Jnanam, okay.
Sir, I'm forgetting the word. It's the indriya, controlling the indriya and being sthita prajna.
Yeah,
Prajna,
okay.
right? That's the word, that tortoise word.
Yeah.
Equanimity.
Anonymity, okay. All are good answers.
good
But,
karma yoga. That's what I think.
there's more. There's one word. What is it?
Jnana Yoga.
The thinking that body is the soul, not thinking that I am the body.
Okay. So if we practice that, everything else will follow.
I am Atma, not body. You see?
Mhm. Think about it, and we'll discuss. I mean, all are good learnings from Bhagavad Gita. I mean, whatever you said, right? All are there. But there is one word that we need to remember always. I think it just came in our discussions. So think about it. What is the most essential thing that we need to learn from Bhagavad Gita?
Surrender to Bhagavan, Paramatma.
Very good.
Yeah.
Got it. That's good.
That's the answer.
Yeah. We surrender, Sharana.
Another.
Yeah. So that is what we need to practice, learn and practice, and everything else will follow from it.
Yeah. Devotion. Yeah.
Everything will follow. So, okay, so we'll discuss more. Okay, we'll conclude here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kayena vacha
Manasendriyarva buddhyatmana prakriti svabhavat karomi
Sakalam
Kalam parasmai narayana yeti samarpayami Sriman narayana yeti samarpayami
Sarvam
Sarvam
Shri
Shri
Krishnarpanamastu.
Krishna Om Asmat
Om Asmatgurubhyo Namaha. Jai Shri Narayan. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.